Hi, my name is Carolyn and I am a mindset coach. And today I want to talk to you about creating a vision board. Now, this is something that you do not have to be a mindset coach to do because I've been doing it for years, way before I even knew what a mindset coach was. But having a vision board is a really powerful tool because what you're doing is you're creating intentions and goals and using visual cues to remind yourself of those visions and goals. So I'm going to show you my whole process, but before I do, I just want to tell you a story of just how powerful intentions are. Years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I was looking to get my first apartment. I had been living with my sister and best friend for a few years, and although that had been super fun, I was ready to have my own place and just be the only one that I had to clean up after. I was an artist at the time, and I wanted to just do my art and leave it and come back to that process. So I was super excited about having my first apartment on my own. And I found it very serendipitously when I was at a fast food barbecue joint called Bill Miller's, and this guy came up and he basically asked me out. He asked me if I wanted to see his band play, and I was sure. I mean, I felt like that was pretty brave of him, so I went ahead and I watched his band play. Afterwards, we went over to his apartment that wasn't very far away, and I just happened to mention that I was looking for an apartment, and they let me know that the apartment upstairs was available. So the next day I went and looked at the apartment, which I loved. It was beautiful. It had this round room with bay windows all around it, and I just fell in love with it. And after I'd moved in and I put my bed in that round room so that I had all these beautiful cross breezes and I slept really well. But I was in there and I was on my bed when I realized, oh my God, I have been here before. I had been out with a friend a few years before that, and we were in that neighborhood, pretty common. That was where my college was. So we were out and about in that neighborhood, and he took me over to a friend's house. And I remember loving that apartment. I didn't recognize it because it was at night, so I didn't see the castle arms on it. So I didn't realize it was the same place until I just kind of had that spark of a moment where I remembered it. But I remembered that round room. And after we left, I looked at my friend and I said, wow, that is my dream apartment. I love that place. And although that wasn't a vision board, what I essentially did is I took a mental snapshot, a picture of that place, and I said, that is my dream apartment. And it stuck with me. So even though I thought I'd forgotten about it, part of me hadn't. And then everything had to kind of line up. It had to be available. This random person who I didn't know invited me to see his band play, and he happened to live there. And I also happened to be in the market for my very own apartment. So that is just a tiny example of the power of intention and goal setting through vision boards, and other ways too. But let's get to the vision board. I'm going to turn this camera around and I'm going to show you my process. So I've turned the camera around. You can see this is my little office helper, Joni. She's pretending to sleep. She's really not sleeping. And these are some magazines that I've collected together. And honestly, this took me about an hour, maybe less. Part of that's because I've done this before, but I've got magazines that I've always had. I mean, even from childhood, we had National Geographic, some hobby stuff. I'm a diver. Some of these magazines you can get free. Any restaurant has these local magazines, and you get a lot of great things from that. And then what I start doing is I just start pulling out pages that have great words in them. Like this one says create positive energy. I loved that. This one had a bridge. If you're looking to travel more, this one had legacy and this great tiger. And then you can even use pamphlets. Like if you're looking for some calm and inner peace. Business cards. This is my husband. I'm looking to definitely grow that business for him. I often look in my journal just for inspiration about what am I wanting for this year? I've probably journaled about it. I'll use postcards from the past. I'm a little sentimental. And I really kind of indulge myself with this process these days. I used to only use magazines, but it's such a powerful tool that I've now started using photos. I'm a professional photographer. That's what I got my degree in. So I have tons of photo books, and I don't destroy the books, but if I find a photo in here that I want, I just take the whole page out and put that. So this is a board from last year, and I've kind of cannibalized it because I used to put it on these flimsy poster boards, and now I use foam board, and I'll show you that. But there were a lot of great words, and I'm still not finished, and photos that I've put onto this year's board. Here again, a travel book that could, you know, if you're looking to travel, if you're looking to live abroad, these are some great places to find inspiration. I'm a diver, and I've never seen a manta ray on a dive, so I pulled that out. And I'm just gonna swing around here to show you my vision board. And the vision board, well, at least for me, really tells a story. So here I am, I'm big on my to-do list this year is professional speaking. I do competitive speaking through Toastmasters. So I have awards here. I want to have a powerful voice. I want to find my authentic voice. Where women create. As an artist, that's always been important for me. And then here I have a woman, you know, Lincoln behind her. So I want to help uplift and empower women of color and their voices too. And I kind of come around here, and you can see I found lots of great words. This kind of really gave me the idea of that manifesting and the thought process of words start off in the mind. So I'm going to put some great words there. Here, I love this focusing your mind, intuition. This was a postcard. That was a postcard. You got this. This was a card, and I can't tell you how many of my mindset coaches have always told me that. And so now I'm taking that and I'm telling that to myself. So we got some postcards. And then because I have a degree in art, or you don't even have to have a degree in art, but it's important to me. Art's important to me. And these are two of my favorite artists. We've got Georgia O'Keeffe and Frida Kahlo. They were not just artists. They were women whose lives were their art. They were creative visionaries, and they're known not just for their art, but because of this creative visionary bit about them. This is, again, my husband and I's business. We have a roofing and construction company, so I, of course, put it up here. I want to make it local. I want to make it easy so I can focus on being a mindset coach. And then this picture, still need to find some words for, but this one really, when I look at this picture, I think of abundance. And then this is just that victory stance that you do when you feel super elated and open-hearted. And then, of course, game changer, we got our first Black woman of color, Kamala Harris, and she is definitely an inspiration for me. This was a card that I had from years ago, and it's called Coyote Song. And I've recently started working with a voice coach who uses a lot of Native American chants because I'm looking to find more of my authentic voice, not just as a singer, but as a speaker. And then I come down here and you can see that I put thanks here because I think a big part of envisioning and manifesting and doing it effectively is also to be thankful. So coming from a place of this has already happened for me and I am so thankful is powerful. And that's part of my gratefulness practice that it helps me a lot, and I really, really recommend it. So here's just a kind of nice overview, and I have it just on the wall across from, don't look at my dirty closet, across from my desktop, which again is a little cluttered, but I'm a visual learner, so I gotta have things out or I might forget about them. Just again, another overview of my stack. I usually don't throw out magazines these days because I do this year after year. And so I keep a stash now. So back to that vision board, couple helpful hints. It is really important once you've created your vision board that you put it someplace that you can see it and see it every day or see it multiple times a day. I learned this the hard way where I had a vision board and there were a few things on it that I just didn't own. I was afraid of the power of them. I got them a few years later when I did put it on my vision board and look at it every day. But that year I stuffed it in a drawer. I was afraid somebody might see it and be like, what, who are you to think that you could have that? And that was just my own self-judgment. This is a great process to do with children. It's very crafty. They love it. And think about how powerful that is to create this habit for your children, how they're going to more powerfully think of and reach and define their goals in life if they've done vision boarding multiple years in a row, or maybe their whole life. So I'm super excited to share that with you, and I hope that you get going on your vision board today. It's never too late.